G'day and welcome to a new series I'm going to be making with Civilization V and the Vox Populi mod. Version 5 at the moment, just only recently upgraded and obviously overwhelmed by how different it feels, but you know, we're getting there. We're rolling with it, we're learning. I've decided to record some gameplay because I realised that I play better when I talk out loud. Have you ever found yourself playing Civ and getting stuck in a cycle or a loop of rush decision making, almost running on autopilot, not really thinking about what you're doing? Well, if so, then you've probably experienced something similar to me, and so I find that if I can talk aloud, put my thought process out there, I'm more accountable to my decisions and I tend to play better. And I thought if I'm going to go to the effort of talking out loud, I might as well record it and share it. If there's anybody out there that would be interested. The other thing too is that I do find, well, look, I'm obsessed with the Vox Populi mod. I got into it about 2 years ago. I'm still very new to it. But I think it's just the best version of Civilization that you can play, despite its flaws. And I want, obviously, to contribute to keeping it alive and sharing it. And I mean, look, there's not a huge amount of content out there at the moment for Civ V, and especially for the modding community. There's a few legends that do make content still, and are still going, making Vox Populi videos and walkthroughs, and those guys are awesome. But of course, there's not a great deal of, I mean, it's no way to say it without sounding savage, but interesting content with good commentary. And, well, I don't know, I like to talk, so I'm going to be the change I want to see in the world. Now, the only reason I mention that is because I find the only reason I would ever watch somebody else's playthrough is because I want to learn something from them. So I watch the people that play on Deity, but I don't learn as much as I want because they don't explain what they're doing as much as I'd like them to. So I'm going to try and do that, and I won't be playing on Deity, but look, if there's any newcomers that could learn anything from what I do, then there you go, we'll have done some good. And if there's any veterans that just happen to come across this and want to drop some feedback, tips in the comments, well, I'd welcome that too. That would be fantastic, actually, because it's a very active community around this mod, but it can be really hard to find good guides to really help you understand it. But without further ado, we're going to roll into it. I am going to play on Prince difficulty. I have attempted King a couple of times. I think I've got what it takes, but I don't know, it just sometimes yeah, you know, especially if it's a Civ I haven't played before, I do just fall behind a little bit. I make good decisions, but then I make the wrong decisions, and then, you know, but then if I drop it to Warlord, it's just too easy. I just rocket ahead of the AI. I'm just laughing into the endgame. So we need a challenge. Again, I still find Prince a little bit easy most of the time, but don't seem to be ready for the jump to King just yet. So I'm going to keep it there and on the standard pace. I play Communitas. I don't mess around with the map settings too much. I decided to pick Morocco, which is going to work. I'm just going to work through the list alphabetically. I still haven't played every Civ. Even in the base game, I only have about 600 hours in Civ V, both vanilla and VP. I've probably played half of them, maybe more. Still a bunch I haven't tried yet. Not particularly excited about Morocco per se, but it's a good place to start. I don't don't play with the events. They do add some nice flavour, but I don't know, there's too many. And especially towards the end game, if you've got the bad events on and everything, I found that, I don't know if they've patched it in the new updates, but I found that the natural disasters and stuff like that were getting a little bit, you know, there's a bit much going on there. It felt like I was dealing with floods and hurricanes every turn. I also playing without ancient ruins, maybe a controversial take, but look, I don't know. I don't want free stuff. I don't like the uncertainty about whether or not you're going to get like a good opening with the ancient ruins. I mean, look, sometimes you're going to, you know, get 3 or 4, and you might get a culture boost, science boost, production cachet that speeds up your monument. But then a lot of other times, I mean, it just feels like you get a scout upgrade and a pat on the back, you know, and the AI just eat up all the rest of the ruins. So I don't like the uncertainty about how your opening's going to go. Maybe down the track, if people would prefer I play with it. We'll see what happens. But let's get into it. Let us go. My computer's nice and slow. Needs to be upgraded.
The people of Morocco await your guidance, now, Great Sultan Ahmed Al-Mansur of the Saadi dynasty.
I remember in vanilla,
well known for your skill as both a negotiator,
I think they had some sort of trade bonus then as well. I can't quite remember, but I have tried Morocco and Vox Populi before.
Securing the sovereignty of your nation.
So we get a busted capital, which screams, still, you know,
when words failed,
probably that we'll do a tradition opener. Don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but I think that's what you want to do. So for the unique trade route partner, so we want to be trading with everyone, which means you don't want too many enemies. But if there's one Civ obviously running away with the game, we're going to have to contribute into knocking them down. We can plunder trade routes without declaring war. So I think there's still diplomatic consequences, of course, but we can essentially... I think that's sort of the idea with these Corsair ships. One thing that's been interesting to adjust to with the third and fourth component edition, which I'd never played with before, I'd never tried that mod, is how it changes your progression through the tech tree. Like, for example, I was playing the Zulu the other day and I noticed that, you know, they had their Ikanda barracks here in bronze working, and, you know, then they had like a unique amphitheater which has been added. That's pretty cool. It gives you faith and stuff. And then you have to get back down here to unlock your Impi. And this, doing a big deviation like this, really sort of hurt my progress towards Impi, even though they have a unique building you'd want to pick up. So what I'm wondering, and maybe if somebody sees this, they can, who knows a lot about 3-4 UC, you could tell me, is the idea that you're supposed to still pick everything up and play your fully fleshed Civ experience, or is the idea that you have options? Because in that scenario it felt like, well, actually I have option here of doing the standard Zulu thing, which is to go for my Impi and then just keep eating up the map. And I think that is the way to go. And then maybe come back and pick this up later. But yeah, I don't know. It really slowed me down. I ended up quite far behind. Didn't have the strength I needed by the time I was finally researching Impi, because I had detoured up here to pick up my unique building. I mean, I think you have to get... Let's have a look. I think you would have to get... No, you don't. You actually don't even have to research drama and poetry to get all the way to metallurgy. So, or wherever it is, gunpowder. So there you go. It's like a total extra tech you don't even need, wouldn't normally need just to get to your standard unit. So anyway, that was the case then. This time, let's have a look. Sorry. So this time we're going to get yields in the capital for our trade route partners. Yep. And we can plan the trade routes. The Berber cavalry, that's the same as before, I think. Most defensive. Fights in friendly land, which I think also means, you know, friendly city-states, maybe allies as well. You send the Berber cavalry out to plunder foreign trade routes. Okay. Oh, just make sure you aren't seen. Oh, okay. Ah, does that mean that you can plunder trade routes without consequence if no one sees you? Ah, it's a new development. Okay, I didn't know that. I might have to play around with that. The Corsair. This has obviously been added. Ah. instead of the ironclad. Okay. Sailing ship that's as good as an ironclad. Alright. Oh, replaces Corvette, sorry. My bad. That makes more sense. Replaces the Corvette, then unique Corvette, obviously. Then we get the ironclad. You get it with navigation. Grazia is 200% of the combat strength of defeated enemy units, food and production in the origin city. Oh! So if you build them in a particular city, that city gets a food and production boost when you defeat units. This seems to all be like essentially tailored towards piracy. That seems to basically be the play style here. Alright. Doesn't lead to any other promotions, it's just one unique promotion. Okay. Now, a riad, that's new. It's a hotel. 33% of culture from terrain and world wonders added to tourism. 25% tourism from great works. Gain tourism equal to 10% of gold cost when purchasing with gold in the city. Wow, okay. So we're definitely like tailored into like going into culture, tourism here and great works. It's pretty interesting. Okay. I remember the Casbah. I think this might be the same as before. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Only build adjacent to a city. +2 gold to adjacent fishing boats. +1 culture to adjacent coast tile. +30% defensive strength for any unit stationed. Any unit which ends its turn next to it takes 5 damage. Can be built on a resource and connects any luxury strategic on this tile to your trade network. Okay. So if there's a particular spot that's just ripe for a Casbah, but there's a resource, you can build it on top and still get the resource, if it's luxury or strategic. Okay, and we get that with chivalry. Complicated. So, next to a city and next to a coast, ideally, because we'll get fishing boat buff. I hope we get a coastal city. I think we did. Alright, so it seems to be the case that we'll play for a culture-ish victory. With culture diplomacy if it doesn't quite work out. We're going to be essentially committing piracy in the mid-game onwards. But we need to be on good terms with people so we can trade. And we're going to have a busted capital. So we're definitely, I think, playing tradition here. Awesome. Let's get into it. Now, one thing that may not be agreeable with a lot of viewers is that I am going to be playing without quick movement and quick combat. Just for now, I have tried it. Look, honestly, I don't like zipping around the map. It's part of that thing of slowing down and taking time to make decisions. I find I rush a little bit. I also don't like quick combat when I can't see the animations. I don't like reading that log of like things that have happened and trying to figure out what attacked me. I'd rather see it happen in real time so I can get a sense of what the enemy's throwing at me. Let's have a look at this settle. It's not awesome. It is on the coast, and they have given me a location for a Casbah. So if it was put here, it would buff this tile and that tile. I think it said, what was it? +2 gold to the adjacent fishing boat and plus culture against to adjacent coast tile. So the city centre and the cotton or coast over here. Sorry, keep the yields on for now. It's not a particularly defensible location. It's not too bad for coastal, but boxed in by hills here. Coast there. I mean, look, I don't love it. I also don't see anywhere to particularly that I should move instead. If I did settle this style, I could still do the Casbah here. And buff that tile, which would be good for the wheat, because then the wheat would get culture. Maybe that's the way to go. And then we can actually work the production on this tile in the meantime. I think we're going to do that. Yeah. It's cool. I like this little peninsula out here. Alright, let's settle. Yeah, I think I can safely just lock that tile for now. It's obviously the best tile. I think religion will be a factor in this game. We don't have any faith bonuses. But... Oh, Kingstone's Mines. Well, that is a faith bonus, actually, if you can work that. I still think a... Wales there. Oh, okay, this is the sort of like the southern bottom, like southern Antarctic section here. So we are in the south of the map. I might, unless I find a ruin here. Oh no, that's right, I turned ruins off. So we don't need to worry about that. Alright, I might send my Pathfinder up here. And then, good to know that's there. It looks like it's probably uncontested. Maybe there's probably somebody right here though. We're going to meet any second now. But yeah, I think I will go for Monument right away. I just want to start getting our tradition policy straight away. As soon as you get tradition, +1 culture for every 2 citizens, yeah, we'll get the extra food and the extra population straight away, which we're going to start using immediately, and then a shrine, because we do want to get a good pantheon. But okay, so someone's already. Does that mean Dandy's in the game? No. Not necessarily. Oh, it might be, and he moved his capital. I think that means that India somewhere starts with a pantheon. I can't think of anyone else that would get one right away. Alright, let's get you up here. It's doubling up a little bit, but... Ooh. Turn yields off. Another thing about the way I play is I don't like the screen all cluttered like this. Blech. It's not that it looks terrible, it's just I find it an absolute headache to try and interpret. Like, you don't really need it. In my opinion, you know, it's a look, I don't know, personal preference, but you don't really need the bloody grid, you know. You can count how far away things are. Or just quickly open it when you need to get a sense of tile range. So we're very, very coastal. Very coastal. This is probably... One thing that's interesting about the current state of this mod is that the civs tend to spawn very close together. And that's something I did actually kind of complain about in the subreddit, which I know is not necessarily where you should go to complain, but just wanted to see if other people were having the same problem. City-state there. I thought it was a little bit rough how close civs spawn sometimes. Just because, like, I don't know, I like early wars, but you need a bit of space to sort of do your thing. Oh, okay. Okay, militaristic. These guys, I think, from memory... let's see if it's the Great Galleys. No, I was just thinking. Must be a different one. I thought last time I played, these guys were giving me longbowmen, which was awesome, because they're very strong, but no, it must have been a different one. Just going to finish off the bottom of the map here with my warrior, since there's nothing here. There's that. Oh, yeah, whatever. Nice. Nice, bro. So, I think, yeah, we'll try not to get in his bad books. Or, if there's an opportunity, we've met Cahokia. Okay. there's an opportunity to wipe them out early, I suppose you could go for it. But we're not really going to be... We're not close to him, that close to him or anything like that. I think there'll be a city near these olives, surely. No? Okay. Ulundi must be up here somewhere. Warrior might come have a go. No? Okay. Trailblazer. Let's not kid ourselves. You're a scouting unit. That way you get pinned against the coast by the warrior. He blocks you in, so you'd better go back up here, I guess. And that's the extent of that. So, really, we've got a bit of a wall behind our backs. Settle this in. So, Big Bunta capital pretty much just going to take up this whole... It's going to be 4 tiles long, so it's literally just going to be this whole section here, this side of the river. But, you know, coastal city on that side, coastal city here. Or maybe an inland city, just make sure we grab the extra faith and production from the mines. And then, yeah, 1 or 2 here. These are going to be like our land sort of block of cities that... So we'll have a bit of a trade thing going on here with our cargo ships. And then slant some cities here to protect the capital from land assault. Cool. Yeah, not a huge amount of space to work with, but... Oh my god, I just realised that Did I choose wheel as my first tech? What the heck? I don't even remember doing that, honestly. I completely forgot to actually think about our opening tech. I got so caught up talking about that other crap. Oh, Jesus. What the heck was I thinking? It's not a terrible choice, but why didn't I... Oh, it's because I opened up the tech tree earlier to talk about all that other stuff. Completely forgot to make my initial decision. Look, it's not a terrible choice. Stonehenge is pretty cool. So are councils, because when we get our first policy... yeah, whatever. Alright, let's just quickly figure that out. So this needs... Obviously we want to get fishing happening at some point to get the coral. Science from the resource tile. If you have coral monopoly, that's pretty cool. Cotton needs plantations. It's calendar. We want to get a settler out early, just so we can seal ourselves in here. I do want to settle that early, but I think the very, very first one's going to have to come out here somewhere just to assert ourselves. Lock off this peninsula here, or this sort of stretch of land. No free settlers or workers with tradition, so we will need pottery to do that, and I think that will be the next choice. Now we won't get... That's right, I was going to have a look at our unique buildings and units and when we get them. So the Casbah we'll get with chivalry, okay? The cavalry we'll get with military service. The Corsair we'll get with navigation. Okay, that's cool. So they do kind of follow like a line through the tech tree. We don't have to deviate greatly to get other things that we don't need. Okay, that's cool. Trade routes are going to be important. Every unique trading partner, I think that includes city-states. I could be wrong there, but I think... Do we have desert tiles? We do. A Petra is not a terrible idea. Again, this was dumb that I didn't choose my first tech, but it wasn't a bad choice anyway. I think we'll get pottery now. Let's get that settler out. Okay. The Grand Mesa. I wonder when we'll find another capital. Lots of salt up here. Is there anyone else in this game? It's been ages. There must be someone here. It's been ages since I've been spawned this far from anyone else. This like never happens anymore. I'm wondering if I messed something up in the settings at this point. This genuinely never happens to me. They must be all like right here, and we're just separated by a thin stretch of water or something. But we did find that Zulu warrior, so he can't have walked that far. So he must be like right here, connected to this. Can't see his borders. Oh, what? He walked all the way from there. Didn't he like end up down here on like turn 5 or something? What? What? Okay. City state there. Alright. Okay. Interesting. Okay, what's going on here? Food production. Yeah, that's good. I like that we're getting a little bit of gold. Almaty. They know the secrets of the Janissary. Cool. Militaristic as well. I like military city-states. Sometimes the free units are worth your while. 5 turns to pottery. An extra military unit is worth it, but we're not playing authority. We're not going to be smacking barbarian heads too much. We do actually need to grow if we're going to get a settler out earlier, but that'll happen when we hit our policy. Let's get the shrine. Like I said, I do want a good pantheon. I'm going to try and incorporate a religion into this playthrough. Okay. Yeah, just the other biggest, most dominating warmongerer in the game. That's cool. Yeah, right. This is cool. For a, for a pacifist playthrough. That's great. We can work with that. Best thing to do then in that scenario is see if we can play them against each other, I think. We should befriend one of them, the one that's closer. And then, yeah. See if they can butt heads a bit. Who's this here? City-state. Okay, we got that tile going. That's good. I'm actually even wondering if it's better to work the... You know what? Just because barbarians are going to start spawning soon, I could buy a slinger because I don't plan on spending much production on units. So we should probably spend our gold. Actually, that makes sense. 10 turns we get the monument, 10 turns the shrine will be finished, and we can immediately start working on the settler because we'll get that population injection from tradition. You can chill. You can chill. Latium. These are all these new city-state names I think that they've added. They definitely weren't in VP or Brave New World. I'm sure of it. Krupp gun. Awesome. Can't wait to find out what that is. I'm actually so curious. I just have to see this. Oh. Ah, it's a German thing. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Krupp gun. Minenwerfer. Trommelfeuer. I'm just gonna be ridiculous for a bit there, reading those. That's awesome. This is spicy as hell. I'd love to get some of those. I wonder if we can befriend those guys. Okay. Alright, it seems like good. Yeah, just be the three of us on this continent. At least I got space to do what I need to do. Trailblazer 2 is probably going to be the play here because that gets us to Trailblazer 3 so that we can embark. Ends. Reclusive. So they don't make good lasting relationships. Pottery sorted, and we got fish. That's great. See, if I had thought a little bit harder about my opening policy, could have dropped that earlier. 5 turns till growth is good. Might keep working food for now. We don't need... I don't think pyramids is... I think of other ancient era wonders we could play for. Again, look, Stonehenge is cool. I don't think I want the extra faith that bad. If I was playing for like domination, I'd be perhaps more concerned about getting first Pantheon pick or as early as possible. What was actually chosen again? I want to check that. God King. Okay. Actually might have been a good one for us, but that's okay. I think if we built a city out here, would there be a way we could incorporate a Petra? Like, what about a sort of blocker city here that can trade overseas and get a hill defense? Ah, but the desert tiles, that's just plains. But like Petra would... Or like if you build it here, Petra would give you 1 gold on the desert tiles and a caravan and an extra trade route. Yeah, if you like built it here, these tiles would all get gold. And you could immediately start trading. See, that's the kind of thinking. I mean, obviously it'd be better to attach it to a luxury. But luxuries, well, yeah, I mean, if you settle... I mean, that's the world's most... Yeah, I wouldn't put a city there. That's like the world's most attackable city. It's just free real estate. Maybe I'm getting too attached to this Petra idea, and we just need to think about jumping on the mines. Also, that's the other reason I'm not going for... well, I'm just thinking about it now. That's probably another good reason not to go for Stonehenge. Save the production. We've literally got an extra 2 faith to pick up here, which is what it gives you anyway. It does give you a free council, which is cool. I think, yeah, look, again, fishing and calendar are going to be the ones to get our resources online. Animal husbandry can be good because we get horses, and then we can sell the horses and get extra yields from those tiles. Actually, I might do that just because I want to see where to settle those next couple. I want, like, it'll help me make a decision about where to settle. Yeah, that's the southern extent of the landmass there by the looks of it. Probably is something here. But... Okay, now let's go. We are ahead in tech for now. That's always good. What's this? Somebody already has another Pantheon, God of the Expanse. I'm wondering how they manage that as well. Rushed out somebody with a unique shrine, perhaps, that gives you extra faith. Or they just got the shrine down very quickly. Or they have a natural wonder, maybe. Or they're already friends with a faith city-state or something. I don't know. Forest and jungle up here. Whoa, who's that? Hopefully we don't run into the Iroquois up here somewhere. This must be the Huns. God, this is an interesting map, isn't it? Ha! That's like the worst start for a land domination civ I've ever seen. Well, good for us, I suppose. This is a natural wonder here, isn't it? Yeah, culture. Yeah, see, you won't be able to get that. That'd be good. Run a settler all the way up there. Immediate war from the Zulus. We definitely are not going to be in a position to fight. Yes, please work a production tile. That would be good. We're going to finish that shrine in a second. These guys have got their first policy up, which is annoying. But we're loaded. So that's alright because they both picked authority. And we're about to get... so these guys have a quest for Stonehenge. Not too bad. Again, I don't think this is a bad idea. Yes, our neighbours have authority, but that doesn't mean that if we went the same way that we would just automatically be able to go toe-to-toe in all-out war. So it's going to be tradition, buff the capital, and then we get extra yields for every trading partner. I'll probably go for the... This is always a hard one, but I'll probably go for the Royal Astrologer first as well. Immediately start working that specialist. Probably get our science up. So Marrakesh, yep. It's grown. Now it's got no good tiles to work. I have to think about that. Buy this. 3 turns, it's going to grow. I'll leave it. I will build the council. Yeah, build the council. Oh, no, sorry. We're getting the settler out right away. That was the thing. And then in that case, I will buy a production tile. These both lead to... Oh, I just realised Casbah here as well. Just going to buff that fishing boat. Okay, that's great. Anyway, buy that as well. So production, 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 production. Can we do that? Is that going to work? Doesn't make any difference. Cool. Just going to scout this quickly. Actually, we can start heading towards the settle location. Again, I think better to settle aggro first, claim the land we want. We'll get this one next. Oh. Can you kill him? It's free XP. Yeah, do it. Get up in there, buddy. Light work. Zulu sniffing around. Oh no, Huns. There's Zulu. Both sniffing around. Wondering what's up for grabs. Ah! So we have got horses by the capital. Oh! Hey. That's looking more tempting now. If we can secure that tile from them. And we could build a Casbah here and at least get culture from these tiles as well. Next to the city, build a Petra, gold. Thing is, they haven't got very good production. Not going to be a good place to rush out, I wonder, but... Well, you know, I'm attached to the idea at this stage. Trade. So, let's just double check this if I can. Krupp gun! We're excited about the Krupp gun. Unyield capital per unique trade route partner. I'm going to say that that does include city-states. Well, we'll find out when we send a trader to a city-state, because I don't think we'll be in range of the other major players anyway when we're building our first trade route. Let's check out what's going on up here. Hey, nice. Work out instead. Nice. Not a bad GPT for turn 29. +8. Bit annoyed we weren't able to get our embarkment promo in time to explore up here. We'll have to go back there, check it out. Latium desires porcelain. Yes. Oh, well, big what? Boobarians. Being all scary and shit. We really got a cold little corner of the world, didn't we? All to ourselves. You know these guys. No, they haven't released their settler yet. Well, we're not going to get XP as much. Well, we're not going to. We will. We're not going to get culture from killing barbarians this playthrough, but I suppose he's right in the way of where we want to walk the settler, so we're going to have to do something about it, using this, involving the slinger. Let's see if we can cop a few hits, maybe. Yeah, go on and have a swing. Alright, fisticuffs, we'll just fortify there. Yeah, whatever. One last peek down here. I'm really... I don't know, I like this. Right in the middle of the two city-states. Obviously, if they declare war on us, that's not great. But these guys are not going to have the kind of diplomacy, I don't think, that's going to allow that to happen anyway. I don't really know how they do it, but like some of the more diplomatic civs can like just automatically befriend all the city-states. It's kind of crazy. And they're like on the other side of the world, and I'm wondering how they're doing it. Yeah, stay fortified. Start bringing the settler. I still think that's a good idea to get out here. I know there's no luxury. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should just settle the luxury. No, we'll get both anyway. There's plenty of time. He'll probably settle down here or something. Oh. It'd just be good to have a Petra City. Get the extra trade route, and then we can just be like double trading both of these city-states, and then cool. Alright, so Barbarian has chosen death. Fine. Get this slinger to have a swing as well. You haven't got much to do at the minute. I need you to level up. I have to involve you in this combat.
Even brute beasts.
Get trapping. Okay, he's got his settler out now. Let's see what happens there. We're not going to be huge city bashers this game. Especially not with the amount of space we've got to work with. Shock. Let me just double check the... Oh, actually I'll do it this way. Drill leads to... Yeah, drill to... These two amphibious, which is good. Shock. Also these two amphibious. I think we'll go with shock. Just better combat strength. Stay there for now. This might be... I don't know. No, I want to do it. I'm committed. Settlers out so we can play around with these tiles again. I think we'll work the gold. Invest. No, don't think so. Maybe a slinger. We're getting our second policy in a second. Which would be the case. Get the gold from this camp. Finish him in one go, probably not. Get the settler right there. While we wait. Oh, so like... the Zulus have tutelary gods. Alright. Makes sense. I would pick that too. In fact, I did when I was playing them the other day. Didn't save me though. I really love the idea of just being an absolute dickhead with this settler. Such a good city location here. You could even build a wicked Petra because of all of the desert tiles and all of that production. You'd just be like in a way better chance of getting it on straight away. I can't do early war with the Zulus. I don't know. Maybe it's the way to go. Maybe I'm just don't have the confidence to execute these great ideas, but cool. I reckon that'll give... So we can finish that off and that should give him the XP he needs to level up. Or not. Fine. Okay. Ceremony. 25% production towards national wonders, which leads to Splendor, which is the state treasury. Look, this is actually always seems like a good idea. Maybe I should be going for justice so we can just build quicker, but I think that the extra science you just can't go wrong with. I mean, look at that. Instantly shave 4 turns off trade. And we can work that specialist pretty soon as well. Maybe with the next pot point, we'll work the specialist. Yeah, you can come out safe, I think. Find out. She didn't get the XP from that. Can get it now, though. Get shit up here. Come on, finish him off. Yes, good. Cool. Maybe Pathfinders don't get XP from killing barbs. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't look like he got anything from that. Okay. That's fine. Just scout the rest of this coastline. Are we happy with this? Just so tempting. No. We're not playing. If we're playing Progress and we're going to have all these city connections. I like this. We drop it here, grab the horses, build a Petra. It's got fresh water. Boom. Monument. Buy the horse tile, just make sure it's ours. For sure. Investing's probably not a terrible idea. Let's see how it goes. You can see it there. You can come back. Almaty desires horses. Well, ask and ye shall receive. Yeah, I might buy a worker in that town actually, because if I buy a worker, I don't have to walk one all the way from here. Not going to steal one. This is actually a very dull start to the game, isn't it? Yeah, so he's already started bullying city-states. Good on him. So we don't need to worry about him befriending them anytime soon. And using them to gang up on us. Cool. Let's work that specialist. Cool. Heaps of science. The Royal Astrologer gives buffs to smokehouses and herbalists. Oh, there you go. So if we build a smokehouse, we get border growth points. Oh god. Oh, it's kind of tempting. I mean, military units as well. Don't want to forget about those. Oh, we're not going to get enough XP for the scout. It sucks. Imagine that. Oh, and he went and settled up there anyway. He didn't even... Nah, it's still a good idea that we didn't do that. Maybe we can... If there's like an opportunity to double up on him. I don't know. Move on. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so maybe I should go for that, but another settler would be a good idea as well. 16 turns to build both of these, 17 turns until we grow. Better build a granary then. I could invest in both of these as well, but I think instead of doing that, I'll build buy a worker up here. Because a worker will get this city online so that we can get that slinger out there. Get some XP on him. Okay, yeah, so we've got trades, so now we can get an idea of class protection. It's not bad. So like Petra right now would take a long time. That's why we're going to put down a pasture. Get more production. Now, right now as it stands, still don't really need mining. Fishing would allow us to get these coral going. We want that. Whoa! Jesus. Barbarian jump scare. Cool. That's good. Let's get these guys down there. Have a look at that. Forget that. See, when you're not playing Authority, you don't get those notifications that there's barb camps there. These guys want us to make great scientists. That's actually on the way. Don't know how quickly, but could be in the running for that. Get these slingers in there, see what they can do. Probably not much without a warrior, but yeah. Get that. Somebody, who was it that wanted the horses? These guys. That's cool. Alright, okay. That's a little intimidating. Keep these guys up here in the hills. Maybe they'll... Might need to get a warrior out, actually. Yes. Just quickly. A melee unit. Just to have a tumble with these barbs. Okay, they ran away. Let's put them back down the list again. Marrakesh wants citrus. Oh, that ain't gonna happen. Let's hold off. Stonehenge. Okay, we're gonna have that. Somebody chose ancestor worship. So let's have a think about this. Trade routes. Okay. We have fishing boats galore. We have defensive military bonuses. We have a tile improvement. We have desert tiles, grassland tiles. All of that's going to be taken into account. Playing tradition, great people points, great work bonuses down the track. Of course, it's better to have a. It's always better to have a pantheon you can use right away. A lot of commerce. Must do faith in gold in cities with a city connection per active trade route. The capital receives great merchant points and additional faith after your second city is founded. Be a reason not to get that. No one gets the buff to pastures. That's right, God of the Open Sky is not terrible. Plus we play the culture of every plains or grassland that are worked. Yeah, well, I mean, I've never liked that side of it. But faith and gold for pastures is something to be considered. Faith and gold from granaries. Farms on improved resources will give us science, which will be. We do have a couple of farm opportunities. Two faith in the palace right away, and from great works, extra faith, artist points and engineer points. Well, we are going to get some great works up. Every unique luxury resource owned or imported. Buffs markets. Great scientist points. Would get an extra 2 faith for having our specialist already as well. So 3 extra faith and an extra science, and plus great scientist points. Ooh, that's pretty cool. You got to think about where your science and culture is coming from in this game. For us, it's going to be coming from specialists and our trade route bonus. This is tough as always. Commerce. Connection. We won't get that right away. That's the problem. We'll get an extra bit of faith and gold because we've got a second city. And per active trade route. Pretty cool. Oh, it's so tough choosing a pantheon. Oh god, it drives me crazy. I mean, yeah, this is why people, streamers get their audience to choose for them. Look, I think we're not... Yeah, we are doing a bit of tile improving. I think... Was there anything for fishing boats? Might have already been chosen. Alright. Oh. Yeah, I like this too. Let's have a look again at the Moroccan. The Riyadh gives us culture from terrain. Oh, I missed that. Wait, plus 33% of culture from terrain and world. Oh, okay. If you got any culture on the map. Okay. Like from your, yeah, added to tourism output. Extra tourism and great works. And then, you know, if you had this, I mean, we probably will build a wonder. Plus faith and great works. We'll get extra 2 faith right away. We'll make a play of Petra, try and build that. Faith and great works, plus 2 graves. Great engineer points in. It's pretty cool. Still think. Look, trade routes, where words line up. I feel like it's the way to go. We're not going to need to worry about having any more science buffs when we're up against 2 authority players. I don't think. Let's do it. Excellent. It is done. And I think we'll call it a day there. And continue in the next episode.